Welcome back to Creeper World 4. We're going to be swinging the pendulum the other direction, if you will, since we just completed a CSM speedrun miniseries. This is going to be a more relaxed, methodical type of run. This is the dark side. It's from the Span Experiments, and the main gimmick here is the dark zone areas, hence the name of the map. And they look inaccessible at first because the only green R patch is actually in the dark area. So how do we get to it? Well, as it turns out, orbitals and refinery drones are among the objects that can actually operate in this area. We can't build refineries in there, but the drones will come and harvest this. So that is not at all apparent to a lot of newer players who have said, wait, how do I do this if I can't get to the green R? You actually can get to it. Now, we're not going for a super fast time on this one. It would be about 15 minutes are the best times to hit the nullify enemy's objective. One person managed below that. We're not, that's really impressive actually on this map, but I'm just going to take a more relaxed approach. We have a few emitters, and they're each pumping out a decent amount of creeper, plus add on to that this mesh that's going to flow around here, and it's going to fill up with various forbs, etc. from the skimmers. And there is a pretty significant amount of resistance. So if we switch the view to start, I like doing this one with our own territory at the bottom. Let's get started. So no urns to begin with, no resource terrain, no trees that we can get onto immediately. So what we're going to end up with is, these are going to grow some trees down here, but it's going to take a bit of time. It'll be a fairly slow buildup of energy. Meanwhile, of course, we've got the beginnings of pain out here. I've got a couple terps, which will be my next thing to get rolling eventually. Now we're starting to get little bits of, trees up in this area. And getting close to the end of the towers that we can build. There we go. Okay, let's turn both of you on. Let's turn the urn portal on. Refineries, let's get you on. And I think the rocket pads as well. Okay, now that's plenty for our beginning here. You can see that we're just going to go slightly negative. Energy collection. Mining just because. We're just going to use all of these. Fire range, fire rate. There we go. And now we're starting to build up some. I'm going to get a few cannons going here. Let's go ahead and get a factory up. And these are starting to harvest some for us. But we need the factory before we can actually do anything with it. And we'll want to build some beacons. We'll start with one there and a couple over here. Alright, we're getting pretty full on energy. Let's go ahead and sniper up. And as soon as we get some of these built, there we go. Now we can begin to move out a little bit further. So let's slide you out perhaps around here. Do some towering up along here as well. And I want to nullify all of these. There we go. Nullifier there, and there, and there. That I'm going to want snipers in place. And I meant to build my missile launchers and I didn't. So let's definitely do that. Now these are secure. Move our beacons over here because this is the next area we're going to want to hit. And then let's just slide a few of you out this way. So I just want to gradually escalate. And we'll pop over here, which will allow us to get some more trees into our income. And let's also, I'm going to want a couple snipers out this way. Missile launchers, if you please. Perhaps one on each of these areas. Snipers along the edge. And then we're going to want to gradually build up. I want a missile launcher over here too, now that I think of it. And having the one cannon over here is going to be useful just in case we run into any trouble. I want to have something in place. So let's maybe spread you out over this way. Get some more cannons rolling. And we might as well put up some more snipers to get prepared. There's our first orbitals being launched. And I think I'm going to save the orbitals for now. But it wouldn't hurt to have a few mortars over here. Okay. So we got hit a little bit before our cannons came over, actually. There we go. Rectifying that situation. Okay, let's have all of you jump over here and secure this. And then I'm also going to want to put up, I'm not sure the exact amount, but a bunch of sprayers. So we'll just start there. And then short on energy, so I'm not going to go too crazy, but we'll put these in place. And let's nullify you. So we're beginning to hit these areas. But the main point is, we want to knock this out. That'll be our last dark tower on our half of the map, as it were. Bunch of skimmers causing some issue. I'm going to put 3 snipers up over here. And then gradually push out our network. I want to space these as much as I reasonably can, though, because I do want to build a bunch of miners in this area. Go with something like that. Okay. So let's get these miners in place. Well, let's get the snipers up first. Get them up to the edge. And then let's also have a missile launcher. I'm just going to have a few miners at first. And there's not really a great, super fantastic way to fit these in. I'm just going to do the best I can with it and not worry too much if it's super optimal. So we will start with that. And then we're going to switch these over to blue-white. You will be always on, and you will hop over here. And so the idea is, rather than, because they're going to get hit by a bunch of these, blobs that they're going to send out. And rather than having a bunch of cannons over here, what I want eventually is to just build up some AC. And then that guards everything. Except you're shooting the wrong direction. So let's put you over here. Because I want the AC to stay on this. And now everything will work out just fine. Now I do also want to begin building some micro rifts. Go with one here. And one over there. And we'll build more later. Okay. So now we're gradually starting to fill this up. I'm going to evacuate my cannons. I'm going to build some more of them too. We'll need them eventually. Then let's throw up some more miners. Evacuate more cannons, build more miners, etc. All right. Could probably do more, but we're going to stick with that. Let's get all of you over here. And all of you, switch to always on as well. We'll move the mortars over there eventually, and we should be in business. Get another micro rift in place here. And then I will start using pylons. Should have enough AC over here to fully protect that, I would hope. We're probably a little bit heavy in the number of units I've got here. I'm going to push forward and sort of leave mostly these behind. Because they can just produce AC, and then I just want to watch my amount of available AC to make sure that I'm not overextending. Looks like it's pretty high. and not really going down. So we are going to just throw up a few more. And we'll keep adding those until we're certain we have enough to use what we have available. Okay, we got 6 orbitals. Time to start using them. We're going to make it rain. Regularly and repeatedly. And then we're just going to advance. Gradually sort this out and move forward. Now, I am going to want snipers over here, for sure. Quite a few of them. We'll just start out by building up a row of those. I don't think I'm going to care about the spores anymore at this stage, though. And we'll bring over our mortars from this side. Advance forward. Let's get some snipers up in here. I think we're pretty much ready to move out. Just use the orbitals to help me move forward and advance. As we clear more territory. Make sure we get up here so we can hit that mesh. You can see we're still pretty much maxed out on total creeper here. And it doesn't look like we have enough sprayers yet. Let's lay down a few more. So move these up some. Be behind us. Of course, there's more trees we could grow here, but energy should not be a problem for us at this stage. So if we just sort of cross this way. Let's get a couple mortars over there. Maybe throw up a few more. I want them to attack this way because I'd like to eventually get into where that emitter is. And you know what? Let's do some more piloning. Perhaps like this. You can see the forbs there. Let's make sure that we are having plenty of protection. Snipers up. And then moving all the rest of this forward as well. We need more cannons in range of this mesh. Really control that and cut off that mesh flow. There we go. Now I think we will move a few of these across and make ourselves a little bit more of a home. Perhaps another cannon. There we are. Let's rain this. Move our cannons up here gradually. And you know what? Let's make sure that the three of you are prioritizing mesh. There we are. Now that should do it, I think. We're going to work on knocking you out. Okay. So next target, I want this in place. And now that the mesh is not flowing anymore down here, this should really not be difficult. Let's move here. Let's make sure we have a couple snipers out this way. I think I'm ready to build a few more. Rather be safe than sorry. We're using all of our AC now, so we have built up sufficient force to do that. Let's get a pylon out here. I think I'm going to get some more cannons just for safekeeping. Alright. Let's move you down here. Tower in place. And nullify. So that should knock out this. I feel that we're reasonably secure over here. Only so much more is going to flow this way. Now I want to focus on this direction. Look at the overall coverage here. So the overall creeper gradually reducing and our AC is increasing. We just need to continue this process. And of course we could be using air power in here. This is just more of a relaxed, you know, we're going to push through this eventually, but we're not too horribly concerned about how long it takes us to get there kind of run. Okay. Might have been a little bit aggressive there. Let's see. Yeah, you're not really within range of energy, I don't think. Spread out a few more pylons. Okay, let's knock out a little more of this. And I think that should probably be sufficient. I'd like to get a couple cannons up here, if I can. There we go. We're looking good. And let's nullify. Yeah, that should be more than close enough. Okay, so that's going to be our second emitter. And then I want to sort of take a back route, a side route, if you will, over here. And we'll nullify this way. Boy, I thought it'd be close enough. Okay. Got to get a little bit more protection over there then. We'll do that. Now this is holding on, but it's not super great. Let's make sure that we have plenty of firepower. We got lots of cannons. Let's just get them over here. Hold this off. There we go. Now this is going back. All of that is excellent. There's going to be a lot of eggs coming at us from over here because of our good friend, the spore launcher. You can see, you know, the amount there. And okay, yeah, it's starting to press in here. You know what? Let's just put up, just to be safe, a few more mortars over here. There we go. That should be pretty good. I think we might as well throw up another micro rift here too. Probably far enough forward to make that useful. Okay, this is in place, and then I want to just sort of sneak along here. Right there. Then we can just nullify from this direction, and that will all gradually sort itself out. So onward we go, because we have another skimmer here, and another emitter there to deal with before we wrap this wonderful level up. I don't want to worry about attacking this directly yet. What I want to do is move around this way. So if we just rain around there. You can see our overall levels almost as much AC now as we have Creeper. So that's a nice thing to see. And we're piling it up a pretty decent amount over here. I want to cut this off before I go after this skimmer. We're not too far away from doing that either, I don't think. So try to turn the corner here. There we go, AC breaking through. And now this has been cut off, so it should be a pretty routine nullification. And one thing I didn't do that I meant to actually back here, we're not utilizing that. So why don't we throw up another refinery, because these two can't quite reach that far. That would give us a little bit more orbital speed. Oh, okay. I was wrong about this. We got hit by some skimmers down there. Well, we'll just have to correct that then. Whole bunch of eggs there. Let's knock down that mess. Okay, so we're going to put down a couple of you. And also a sniper. Should make things a little more secure, and we'll do this again. And just to be ultra sure, we'll just grab one of you and slide you over here. Wouldn't hurt to do that over here either. Just as, you know, a bit of added insurance, if you will. Okay. So now let's press forward to nullify this final emitter. Should be close enough now. Enough firepower and support, I would think. So from here, well, we're going to want to do some various going after of things, but we want to get into these areas and get rid of these dark towers, use the liftic on these totems, and given that, we just got a couple more orbitals launched, I believe. So we're just going to turn these off. We're done with them for now. Going to use standard firepower. And then let's march some towers out this way. You can see that we're gaining our reclaim victory, but we have more to do than that. Okay, so let's grab our beacons, which I believe are still down here. They are. And haul them over this way. Everything is in place here. Let's go ahead and place some of you around. May lose some of you, but we're going in. And let's add some more fun. There just isn't that much over here, I don't think. And they're not producing anymore either. So if we can get a couple of basic connections up. They're going to throw some eggs at us. That's fine. You do that. Maybe we back off a little bit here with... Well, backed off a bit with some, not with all of it. Slide these out to get far enough in. And victory should soon be ours. Let's get some of these mortars over here to further their abilities. Connect up to the totem. That'll allow us to push it back as well. And there we are. It's our first nullifier. So we just need that one to go up, and then we'll move on to the final target here. Let's see. Let's move over this way, I think. You have nothing else to do, so you can help us just clear this out and then get to start pounding those. Okay, that's in place. You can come back. But the rest of this should shortly work. Ah, lost my beacons. Well, it's a small amount to rebuild them, but they were placed too close to those eggs, apparently. Why I generally build spares, but neglected to this time. Let's go ahead and throw a bit of rain down on you. And our mortars will soon disrupt all of this, and we'll be happy. Very nice. Egg there. Slide you over here. Gotta get a little bit closer. But we're not too far from it. Let's cross all of you. Add to the fun. And now we are closing in on that enemy. Final one. That'll get us to the last totem. And we should be in business here. I think we're just waiting for success to play out. Second condition achieved. Nullifier powering up. And that's all three. So, not an overly challenging level, but there is some significant resistance in here with the mesh. And then, of course, the gimmick at the beginning with being able to get at all of our greener. That was the dark side. And we'll be heading back to the colonies when we return to Creeper World 4. Thanks for watching, everyone.